It is raining pretty good outside and I'm all wet. So I have something that I want to discuss, and this is something that I am feeling really confident about. I'm definitely gearing away from what I originally planned to do, but that's okay and that's exciting. I'm a very on the fly type of person and I like to follow my gut, obviously, and I am just always making decisions on the fly and just, you know, doing what I feel is going to make me the happiest. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I have done so much demo, and on my last video I asked you guys what you thought I should do as far as completely gutting this thing and building from the ground up, or leaving it how it is right now and move forward building it back up. And I have made a decision. So I really had to put a lot of thought into this because I've done so much work so far, and to gut it would be just an astronomical amount of more work. My house batteries are low, so had to turn those off. And to be quite honest, I want to get this thing done sooner than later, right? The reality is, the further I get into the demolition, the more I find every single time I do something, I find something, and it's like I can only imagine what I'd find if I kept demoing. So it was a really hard decision for me because I want to get this done like as quickly as possible, but I also don't want to spend this entire year building another rig and wasting so much time not actually living and making memories. And so I weighed my pros and cons, and my number one pro and my number one con is time. I want to make the most out of the time that I have, because nobody is promised tomorrow. If I continue to gut it, I'm just going to lose that much more time, and that's not what I want. So I have officially decided that I am going to stop demo where I'm at, and aside, like I said, from taking out the furnace and the water heater, those are gonna both be replaced, but I don't want to remove them until I can replace them, because then it would leave a giant hole in the side of the van and we don't want that. But that being said, I'm still maneuvering away from what I had originally planned on doing. So originally, the layout of this van is a couch on this side and a dinette seat and table on the opposite side. And if you watched my video from the first night in this van, you saw the way that it looked when the couch was down and the dinette seat was down. The cool thing about that is it turns into a gigantic king size bed. But the reality is I don't need a king size bed, and also you have to crawl over the bed to like get up. I often get up and use the restroom in the middle of the night, or like I like to drink water throughout the night, and so I'm getting up out of the bed quite often. And so I wanted to open the space up as much as I could, and that kind of led me to deciding to change that original layout. And so I was originally going to keep it how they actually come, and that has since changed. So I decided I'm going to take the exact measurements of what the bench was and basically keep it the same, but the bench that is on the back side of the van, I'm going to take that and I'm just going to move it up against the wall, and that will create an L-shaped couch. And then I do have a lagoon mount, and we'll have a table on a lagoon mount so that I can swivel the table wherever I want. I can move it around, and I could completely just take it off and move it out of the way if I don't need a table. But with that in mind, originally when you walk in the back door, you're immediately hit with the back of the dinette seat, and it kind of closes the kitchen off. And it also makes the walkway in the middle rather small. So by doing the rearranging the dinette area, you're opening up the whole van. So when you walk in, it's completely open. There's so much more room in the aisleway, and that way Ember has more room to play. I have more room to exercise. And then when the bed folds down, you still have a little bit of room for me to roll over and get out of bed without having to crawl off of the side of the bed. And I just personally feel like it brings out so much more room, opens the space up so much more. I did tape it off a little bit, and I will show you exactly what it would look like. You're gonna have to use your imagination a little bit, but I'll show you what I taped off. And I personally think that this is just the best decision. So I went ahead and removed the bolts from where the dinette seat was originally for the seat belts, and I will just be completely eliminating the seat belts from this one side of the dinette. I still will have 2 sets of seat belts on the opposite side. And so the original dinette that's behind the passenger seat will still be exactly how it was, same size and everything, and the seat belts are bolted to the floor, and that is where Ember will sit in her car seat. So that's still going to be original. The only thing changing is the other dinette seat is just moving, and then we'll have a different type of dinette table. So as you can see, this blue tape here is the original dinette seat. It's going to be the same size, and that it'll go all the way to the wall, and we'll have a new heater where that old furnace is. But instead of having the other dinette seat that comes out to here and cuts, you know, all of this area off, the dinette will then butt up against that seat and go out to here, and it goes all the way right to the corner of the wheel well perfectly, and it'll sit there. And that will be all under storage underneath that. And it frees up all of this space here. So that being said, I think the jackknife couch comes out to like right here. So that's so much more space when originally the other seat came out to about here. So that's what hall or walkway I had before. And then now it goes up to that blue line. So that's quite a bit of extra space. And then when the bed folds out, it'll go to here, and I will have from that and over walking area to get up out of bed. A lot of people ask, you know, where's Ember gonna sit? Where's Ember gonna sleep? Like I said, that's gonna be her seat on that dinette area. It has seat belts. And then the jackknife couch will also have seat belts as well, but I would like for her to not sit sideways in the RV. And also, it's a full-size bed that folds out, and she's just gonna sleep with me. We co-sleep now, and I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. I don't plan on living in this thing forever. So by the time she's old enough to like want and need her own space, hopefully I will have different housing. This is just for the next couple of years or so, and just for fun, for making memories, and just getting out there and living our lives a little bit while we still have time before she's old enough to start school. So there you have it. That is the new layout, and I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's just going to open up the space so much more, and it'll make it just more roomy. And I love the idea of walking in the back door and not being immediately met with the back of a dinette seat. At least that's what it feels like. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this layout. I know a lot of people are excited to see it stay exactly the way it was before, but this is just what my heart's telling me to do. And honestly, I'm just really in love with the idea of having a little bit more open space, because I do like to exercise, but obviously I can't go to like a Planet Fitness, because if I have Ember, I can't take her. They don't have daycare. So I would have enough room to just lay out a yoga mat and do my little exercises right here in the hallway. It's what I do at home right now anyways. Ember likes to exercise with me, and this will give us plenty of room to move around and play games and play with toys, and the cats will have a little more room to run, and I'm just really excited about having that extra space. So as always, I'm looking forward to reading your comments and hearing your thoughts about the new layout, and I hope that you guys are excited. If you're not, I hope that in the end you really like what happens with the new layout, and we are officially building up from this point on, and we are no longer doing any demo. So I'm really excited to see how everything builds up. I'll give you a little sneak peek of some issues that I found. I guess it's not a sneak peek, but if you watch this far, not everybody does, you get to see some more problems that have arisen. So we took out the fridge, right? And I mentioned that the roof vent was leaking. It's raining the next few days, so this come Monday is the only day that I will have to get up there and patch that ceiling because we have so much water coming in. Like, check this out. So that's all fresh water. I just cleaned this and it's just coming in hot, and it's raining really, really hard. So I'm definitely gonna have to get that patched up. It's unfortunate, but it is just the situation we're dealing with. So it is just raining harder and harder outside, so I need to get that taken care of ASAP. I'm gonna brainstorm on how I can patch those holes. If you have any ideas, let me know. But aside from that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in a few days for the next video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything. I'll see you guys on the next one.